When we first got started, we were told, and you can actually look it up, by 2030, they think the supply will actually catch up to the demand by 2030 of oysters. Right. So when you talk about competition or you talk about where we're selling them, there's always a market for it. Every oyster that we're growing up to that point is pre-sold.
And to talk about competition, like there is no competition amongst farmers.
There's so much demand that every oyster on almost every oyster farm, at least in this region, is already pre-sold. So when we bring in 500,000 oysters in June next year, that can be considered pre-sold.
Yeah, there's no bad Martha's Vineyard oyster. Like everybody in the world wants a Martha's Vineyard oyster. And when I talked about the ponds and everything, you just ship them out and they're fine, and they're refrigerated and they're fine. And if the water is bad, then the state will shut them down. But a Martha's Vineyard oyster in general is 10 times better than what's grown in most other places.
So it sounds as though there's real spirit of cooperation.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah, we share when our gear breaks down, we loan each other parts so that we can fix each other's stuff. We regularly talk with other farmers about what's working and what's not working. How's your bay scallop experiment going? How's our seaweed experiment going?
Yep. This is how you do tours.
This is how you do tours. This is what we're doing on tours and how you could do them. Or
I think it all stemmed, at least for us, going back to where our mentor, Jack Blake, the fact that he could have said, I'm not going to teach you anything. You need to figure it out yourself. That helped us say that we want to do that for other people as well. We want to pass this knowledge on. The more people in the industry, the better it's going to be. The more support we're going to have, the more infrastructure there's going to be. So, you know, with the new guys that we train, and again, one of them went off and just got his own farm in Edgartown, which we're extremely proud of. We don't hold anything back. And even about the numbers, the business, anything. We want people to be successful. We want these guys. I mean, I think we feel fortunate that, you know, Paul said that he feels special in the sense that he was able to build his home off of wild scallops. You know, I'm building a home right now off of oyster farming. Like, that is a very positive thing, that if I can somehow help a younger guy do that same thing, that's a win for the island. Now we have more local people, more jobs, more trickle-down effect, because apparently it's about a 3 times multiplier. For every oyster sold, it's 3 times multiplier for the economy itself. That's gas, that's ice, that's the markup in the restaurant, etc. So, you know, for an island that's really based on tourism, to be able to now manufacture something or grow something that we export is huge, especially when we live in an island that, you know, it's sad, but not everybody can live here or own a home here, especially people that are born here and they have family here and they want to live here. So it's that mindset that we're lucky we ran into a guy like Jack who said, this is how you do it, here's the playbook, now go adapt it to your farm. We hope we can continue to do that for other people. So again, the camaraderie, the community, the small community of all of us, the oyster farmers here.
And we're making local food.
Yep.
We're growing it without using fertilizer or fresh water. And then once you get it, it's a long game.
It's a process.
It's not a short game. It's a long game, but you can send your kids to college off oyster farming, and you can build a house here off oyster farming. And there is no competition because the demand is way higher for a Martha's Vineyard oyster than there probably will ever be able to grow here. I think we could double the amount of farms on the island and still not meet demand.
And also
and we're cleaning the water. Yeah. And we're making the environment better for the fishermen. The funny thing is that nobody utilized that area that we are farming in. We had to prove that to the state, and they come out and they scuba dive and they make sure there's no commercial species in the area you want to farm. That's one of the prerequisites. And once you've proven that it's dead bottom and nobody else is using it, then you get to farm it. So it was dead bottom, that was proven. We put a farm out there, and now all around the farm are the fishermen's traps, because they're trying to catch the lobsters and the eels or the crabs that spill off the farm into the surrounding areas. So it does make the wild fishery better without impacting them in a negative way at all.